What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Of course, as you know by now, we've had a tragedy, and I do mean tragedy. Got my Red Bull by itself. I've been dealing with this computer all night since I said I was going live. But anyway, it's not about that. And first and foremost, I'd like to send a few shots out to people that me personally have influenced me, if not almost as much as Kevin Samuels, if not more. Especially the first couple of people. You have Tariq Nasheed, and of course, it's Hidden Colors, and most of the people that's in those movies from the very beginning, since me personally, since 2012. Uh, and you have others that I would name that has very, I would say, the compassion that Kevin Samuels has for the black community and wanting us to do better amongst ourselves with one another, not necessarily personal relationships, man and wife, husband and wife relationships, but us as a whole, just us as black men and black women getting along. I think people like Tariq Nasheed with Mac Lessons, Ism Radio, shout out to Bree and Layla Lopez, Ism Radio. You can check that out on YouTube, IZM Radio. Uh, Other people that have been on men, especially uh, other than Tariq, you have the Black Channel, and you have Tough Love Dating, which I've been watching that for a few years since Tariq mentioned him. Uh, you have a few other people that I like to name that not only I would like to start off with my ladies first. Like to send a shout out to Six the Goddess, uh, Erica Lachey, and of course Shahrazad Ali, and the incomparable Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, RIP to her. Those ladies want to see black communities and black men and women get along. That's why I mention them, because they say some of the same things that Kevin Samuel says, but they say it differently. And that's the only real thing I want to say is I'm going to do part two. Just wanted to put that out there. But one of the main things I want to say is most people just disagree with what he says based upon how he says it. You don't like a man because of what he says. You don't like a man based upon how he says what he says. But is that man wrong? Some people, there's people that don't like me because I'm loud a little sometimes. I'm maybe a little hype, maybe a little centric, maybe a little passionate about things that I talk about. When it comes out that way. That don't mean I'm about to jump you or knock your head off. But uh, anyway, there are other men that's out there that I would like to let you know that they're also putting in work, and that before Kevin Samuels, there were men out there. You had, like I said, the Black Authority. You understand? Tariq Radio. You had Ism Radio, which is an offset. To me, Ism Radio is an offset of the Mac Lessons, but just in a refined way. And you have him with two women, so you can hear two women's opinions at the same time. You hear Tariq's opinion, a man's opinion, and I love that. And he had great interviews. You know, I think there's only one interview that I didn't like, and that because of the interviewer, the interviewee, not the interviewers. Uh, but anyway, like to send a shout out to other men in the manosphere. Uh, Ike Ogman, Ogman. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly, brother. Uh, O'Shea Duke Jackson. You have MTR, aka Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews. You have Chizazet. A a couple of these brothers are foreigners. So in the case in the case of this particular um, field, the manosphere, they're not talking about black, African, or this and that, or you know, Americans or others. They're not going in, they're not talking about that. Their focus is about relationships and how men and women aren't getting along and how can we become closer, get away from some of the stereotypes and understand that one of the main things that men are trying to tell women is that you can't change our minds. We've been like this and we are going to be like this. We are the hunters. In the end, y'all know this. And most women ain't even trying to kill a roach. That's known to go out there and kill a boar. Yeah, you got a few uh warrior women out there. Yeah, yeah, it was a few warrior women that fought for freedom and was leaders of tribes and went to war with in Africa and but these were minute circumstances. For the most part, millions of years, men were the head, did the hunting, did the fighting, and this and that, and then and fighting like wars are that we know of that we learned in history is totally different. Uh, that's only recent. Excuse me. That's recent. So that's recent. A few thousand years compared to million years is you can't change millions of years of the way people are just in a couple of in 60 in 50, 60 years. You think you can change millions of years in 50 60 years? No, the feminine movement didn't change. Just we only got harder and stronger. You know, I'd like to send a shout out to It's Complicated channel. I'd like to send a shout out to the lead attorney. I did catch a couple of shows on the lead attorney, and me dealing with child support. I'm definitely glad I was listening to because he said some things that was real deep. So if you are looking for advice from a great attorney that knows what he's talking about, 20 years experience, uh, there's nothing more I can say. You have to make your own opinions about the people that I tell you, that or that I actually, speak on, because I watch them. I watch here and there because I'm mostly trying to do my own thing. But anyway, Minister Jap, y'all check out Minister Jap. Kevin Samuels was on there talking about 90s dating. I mean, in YouTube, go Minister Jap and Kevin Samuels. That particular, if you're if you're over if you're 40 and over, you understand that if you're over 40, you can relate to the dating styles and things that people went through during the 90s and the transition of the early 2000s. So and and because it was a lot of bull crap, that's what how a realists like Tariq came along and smashed the game with the art of Macking, which I have his book and he personally autographed it for me. Uh, I mean, it's yeah. Uh, I'm glad he did came. I'm glad he did come into, and that's another thing. Basically, Tariq has been saying the same thing, just differently, a different way, but not passively. Like Derrick Jackson, you know what I'm saying? I mean, and that's not shitting on him. That just saying that no, it can't uh can't be alpha and passive. It doesn't work, and Kevin has proven that. That's just it. Like I said, Minister Jab has a they had him and Kevin had a great interview, and and next I like the antics. It's very comedic to me. That's Cheek Slang headquarters, a little Asian guy. He's comedic. I like I like I like his style. It's funny. It's almost like it's like mediocre tutorials, similar. It's similar in some aspects, but it's more goofiness, a little more entertainment, you know, uh, slapstick entertainment type. And you have a great guy that I've seen, very articulate. Uh, that's Obsidian Network. Obsidian Network, uh, and then of course uh, my original DJ name that I when I first started DJing was DJ Ready Red. DJ RED, then a capital E period, then REDD. RED, then a capital E period REDD. Red E Red. And I said it, and I actually uh, Willie D's original, the Ghetto Boys' original DJ was DJ Ready Red. Now he spelled ready like normal in red. Uh, ready like ready for the world and red RED. I did it like that because I don't know. I was creative like that. 17 years old, I was creative. Asiatic black gave me the name, but the way I spelt it was original, and I didn't know that that was the DJ for Ghetto Boys, but I think he did. But anyway, it was cool. I ran with it, and I got much love and much respect, and with that name. But like I said, I spelt it, and the reason I got that idea of how I spelt it like that because I love Fred G. Sanford. You know what I'm saying? I grew up watching Sanford and Son, Good Times, all the good shows back then like that. But yeah, he was like Fred G. Sanford, so I was Red E Red. And that's where that came from. But anyway, uh, like Willie D, and another thing, I'm gonna be on just a couple of more minutes. Uh, and the only reason I'm just directing you to other people that have great shows that Kevin Samuels spoke on positively, you know, and for the most part, for most of these people that I'm talking, not every last one of them, but yes, he has spoken on several of these people that and have interviews and pictures and a lot of collaborations, and it was a lot more to come. I was looking forward to the mentorship, the mentorships that he was coming up with. Uh, you know, and but anyway, uh, Willie D live, yeah, he had a live stream tonight. I why because I'm dealing with my computer trying to do my thing, and let me tell you, I was Tariq mentioned. to somebody before Kevin Samuels, and this is his name is Alpha Male. I seen Alpha Male Strategies right before Kevin Samuels, and Minute it's another guy. Tough Love Dating. That's who Tariq mentioned on his show one time. Um, and I had been watching him for a while since he mentioned him back then. And so I was, in the dating field and talking from a from that manosphere point of view. And and then when I look back, I've kind of had that when it comes to talking to women, you always hear you're demanding, you're controlling. It's always a choice. I don't have a gun to your head. You have a choice to actually, adhere to what I say, or you just don't. It's on you. But anyway, you know, we're here today. I'm here today to talk about, the passing of Mr. Kevin Samuels and what he meant to me. And that part is going to have to wait for part two. And the reason I said that because it's still other interviews I'm still watching. It's still other interviews that I'm watching. And uh, I'm really watching. I'm looking at the people that actually, the people I mentioned, Tariq Radio. He did on Twitter. He did the Twitter Spaces. He did that. Willie D was live tonight. What I'm saying, then MTR did something. Uh, who else? Lead Attorney doing something. I seen O'Shea Do Jackson. Uh, Obsidian Network did something tonight. He was live. I got a chance to check that out a little bit, just a little bit. And like I said, I've been scrambling. I'm on live right now on Instagram and Facebook will not go live for me. I'm like, what the heck going on? I did all this writing, blah blah blah, added some people. But anyway, I was trying to go live on all three streams at the same time. I got an old phone, my old note, and I got my iPhone, and I'm on the computer. My iPhone is on Instagram. The Samsung Note is on uh, Facebook, but I can't get this Facebook. It's an old phone. It need new battery. I can find one. Let me start it. Let me see what's going on. Let me see what this is. Yeah, I was trying to go live on all the streams. You know what? You know what I'm gonna do? Let me see if I can switch it. That took me a minute to try to find, think of my passwords. Cause this phone been out of commission. I've been out of commission. Let's see if I can. Instagram. Oh yeah, there we go. Let me see. See. Thank you for joining. For those who joined, been a few people. I know it's late. 2:05 in the morning. Anyway, yeah, man, it's sad that like I said, I'm watching some more videos. I'm still trying to. It kind of I was yeah. Let me say this. My friends. I'm gonna give you an example. My partner, one of my best friends for 30 years. He said, man, I'm getting tired of you listening to Tariq. Tariq on Monday, Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. Or Wednesdays, Thursdays. He switches up right up in that time. But anyway, it's 3 times a week for the most part. Unless something happens critical during the week. Dealing with us. he he you know, and I was listening to him 3 times a week, at least twice a week for 10 years now. Uh, and just imagine, I'm listening to him. By this time, I'm listening to him 3 times a week. My boy said, "Look, man, you just switched from Tariq Nasheed to Kevin Samuels. I can't take no more." My boy, he be tripping, but it about, I mean, it ain't really nothing, but everybody has these little ticks and what they like and what they don't like, what they could deal with, what they can't. I understand. Yeah, so he really was like, I couldn't stand goddamn this and that, and now definitely, but he had his disagreements with Kevin, and uh, I know the reason why I can't go live on this particular phone, because it's an older phone, so therefore I think it might. I can almost guarantee. I think I know what it is. Give me a second. See if I can figure it. Can the king figure it out? What Kevin Samuels used to say: "Build it while we fly." That's right. Build it while we fly. We're already in the air. We're already off the ground. You know what I'm saying? So, mhm. Mhm. Interesting. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. Yeah, I'm trying to handle this some, see if I can figure some things out. Fun size K. What's happening? Give all my peoples away. I appreciate y'all coming. Come on. They want me to do it again. This is me. Let's switch over right quick. I got you. Hold on 1 second. There we go. Yes. Yes. I'm doing all of this. Asking me to verify some things because I haven't been on here in a minute on this phone. Ah, there we go. Mhm. That you, okay, you doing it. You doing it. Anyway, anyway, yeah, check out these people that I mentioned. Uh, I would do part two once I finish watching a few other videos and give some intimate details on how I feel about the situation, go in more depth. And plus, I didn't get started like I wanted to at the time I said, and I apologize for that. I'm sorry, but we're gonna make it do what it do, make it happen. Kin folks and cousins, we out. Oh yeah, I don't own the copyrights, but we're gonna rock it like this. In a minute. It's not hard to prove me, 'cause I'm addicted to the high. Lead the way, I follow. Don't need to say